Yay! Hello. Thank you very much for joining us again on Absolute Cuts. Another very busy week we had.
Yeah,
was the Goonies. Another record breaker.
No, we're nothing but breaking records.
There's no
stopping us now.
No, we're fucking breaking records like we were breaking hymens.
There we go. Last
in high
episode,
school.
did you try? That felt like a week long save. Do you remember last episode you tried and say it's like fucking cash and money and banging a honey.
Yeah. Texting bros and smacking hoes.
Exactly. Here we go. Fucking hell. Where have you been this week?
I've been in the Lake District all weekend.
Oh, your favourite.
Do you know what? It's really nice. I used Kendall as a base.
Yeah.
Right, where the mint cake comes from.
What the fuck is that fan?
It's saying it's just you've left the fan on.
Look at that.
There we go. That's
A humidifier.
shows you how popular Cullen is. He gets panicked whenever he meets a fan.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
So yeah, I was doing gigs in Lancaster and Windermere and Saddleworth and Glossop.
Glossop?
Glossop, yeah.
That's not a
You know
real place.
that's basically that was Sinatra's farewell tour as well. So I used Kendall as a bass, and it was class, man. It was really good. I was hiring a car because I hire a car most weekends now because it's easy to leave Amy with a car for the kids. But because our car's fucked, the car broke down again on the way to school this morning.
I've never seen a man that just...
But it was nothing to do with because so we put the car in last week, right?
Okay.
And it went in a normal garage for sound, and they came back and said there's nothing wrong with your car. You need to take it to Arnold Clark because they do all the electronics stuff. So they ran this diagnostic, and they came back and said, right, it's this fucking camshaft sensor thing you need. So I was like, right, cool, just fit that. Next day we're supposed to get it back. I'm driving down to Kendall. And Amy phones me like, right, they're saying that since I've put that on, it's caused a load of other faults. So I'm like, right. So I very rarely lose it, but I properly lost it with them on the phone.
It's fair.
And then Amy went to pick it up the next day because I basically said, "Root, like this is fixed tomorrow." Right? I got proper like fucking layout on it, and I was like, "No, this is fixed tomorrow." Or else, or else nothing will happen.
Or else you're going to get the
I'm not even in the same country. But she went in and they'd basically cleaned it to a point where it was just out of the wrapper new.
Great.
And she felt terrible picking this up. I've been such a piece of shit. But so it broke down this morning again, which I thought was something to do with the engine, but it was because I'd put petrol in it, right? I'd ridden the light last night when I was driving, right? And I thought it'll be fine for the morning, but I didn't want to admit this. So I'm going to Amy on the phone going, this fucking engine's fucked again. I'm going to go around that, my petrol bomb that garage, right? Whereas I knew it was just the petrol. There's nothing that makes you feel less like a competent father than when because I had to walk the kids a mile to a petrol station with a canister to go and fill it up to then walk back and go, right, you're only going to miss an hour of school, right? It didn't really matter. You'd have done
so
nothing.
Funny.
But my main point was because I went to hire a car, right? And the guys I hire it from in the Avis at Lansfield Street in Glasgow, like the comedy, right? So they very rarely, and they like the podcast, right? So there's very rarely times you get any free shit at our level. Like I imagine like Danny and that get comped a lot of shit quite a lot.
Yeah.
So the past couple of times I've been going in, the guy went in, the guy was like, you Mark Nelson? I was like, aye. And now one of the guys knows another promoter. So I knew him anyway, but I'd met him at other gigs. But this is another guy that works for me. He's like, I was watching your thing on YouTube the other day. And then he was like, so every time I buy the cheapest, I hire the cheapest car. It's a Fiat 500 because it's like £9 a day or something.
Yeah.
And so he was like, can we give Mark something better? And he's like, aye. So this was last weekend. So they gave me a Mercedes but it was like a Mercedes C-Class, which is like one of the weird ones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was like, and he's like, "You're right driving an automatic." I was like, "Ah, I got no bother." So I've got this thing. So I'm like, "This is class, right?"
We go-kart.
Yeah. So I went on Friday this week, and I was like, that surely they won't give me an upgrade again for free, right? They brought the keys out to this brand new Mercedes A-Class saloon, right? So I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I didn't want to go, I don't actually want that because it's going to cost me a lot more in petrol.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's going to cost me because the Fiat, I spent like 10 quid to get up and down. Whereas this fucking thing, I'm in 10 quid by the time I get to the end of the road.
Great.
So they gave me this. So I've had that all weekend.
Class.
And I get now why people in class cars drive like pricks.
Because do you think people are going to touch the car?
No, genuinely, when I was driving it on the motorway, there was a couple of times where I was undertaking people and going, I was basically going, why do I have to sit behind this slow piece of shit? I've got a much better car than them. And then, like fucking...
You touched the good life?
Like, literally driving like an absolute twat all weekend because I could. So I have no truck with people in Audis or BMWs at all anymore. I get it.
Great.
You've got a class car. Why the fuck wouldn't you drive like you've got a class car?
I hope they're listening to this, and if you are, make sure that the next time Mark comes in, you downgrade him.
yeah.
Pay for a Fiat. Quite just a fucking...
Give me a bike.
Yeah. A bike. Just the wheels.
But now, because it's going up every time now, Seamus seems to think that it's going to get better. Right? Because I pick them up because they hate our car.
Yeah.
The Dacia Duster.
The Dacia Duster.
The finest car in the Romanian car market. So every time I come up with this new car, when I hire one, they're like that. It's getting better and better. So he's convinced now that they're giving me a Lambo one week or a Monster. He actually said, he was like, trying to be a monster truck one week. And I was like, I don't even know.
They can't go on the road, can they?
I don't know any car dealership that rents hires out monster trucks, but
you couldn't hire out a monster truck. They're not road safe, are they? Because
I don't know.
You're not paying attention, hit a roundabout and go woo, backflip.
Just rather than undertaking people, just doing that thing they do at monster truck shows where you just crush them and just go over the top of it.
If it's high enough, you can just drive around it, like drive over it, not touch it. Maybe clip a wind mirror.
No, because you can hire Hummers and stuff.
You can, yeah. A guy down near my house in the middle of nowhere in Lifford does. I think it's for weddings and shit. They have Hummers They have Hummers and what do you call those stretch ones?
Limousines.
Stretch limousine.
Yeah.
What do you call them?
Armstrong.
Yeah. First guy in the moon.
Stretch Armstrong.
And Buzz Lightyear.
Stretch Armstrong on the moon. I've left my keys behind. I'll get that.
We always had that one in Ireland. It used to always be the joke because the third guy in the moon. You know the third guy in the moon? The guy that sat in the...
God, what was his name again? I do know this because it's like a pub quiz question.
It's the same name as an Irish revolutionary.
Bobby Sands.
It's not Bob Imagine. Bobby Sands, the third man in the moon. He just stayed in the toilet the whole time.
I don't know. Now, let me think. Come on, Irish revolutionaries.
I'll give you a massive clue.
Right.
Liam Neeson played him.
Oh, Michael Collins. Oh, fuck, so it was. Yeah.
Well,
God,
he didn't play the moon one. He played the...
Aye. But he didn't get out of the capsule at all.
No. I know who was doing a bit. Was it Norm Macdonald or someone had a bit about it? I can't remember. Some comedian has a famous bit about it, so I'm trying not to step on it. But he wasn't allowed out. It wasn't that he wasn't even allowed out. So he went the whole way to the moon. You fucking stay. No matter what happens, you're not allowed out of the. Which you'd be pissed.
Well, you just had to watch the car.
Aye. The whole way to the moon, he just sit in the car.
Why wasn't he allowed out? Was he not trained or?
I reckon he was trained. It's just that someone has to stay in the car at all times in case anything happens.
Like he's an alien jacks it.
Wee lad got on.
We don't know this neighbourhood, right? So one of us has to stay here.
The old man from the John Lewis ad. Circa 2017. It's my way off. Been living off cheese up here for years.
We have you seen the new the John Lewis advert?
No,
Christmas one this year.
No.
It's not great. Like I really like the John Lewis adverts because I quite like I always like the covers. They get a modern singer to do like a cover of a new song, and the new ones basically they buy like it's like the plant in Little Shop of Horrors, big Venus flytrap thing.
Okay, yeah.
So they buy this. It's like grow your own tree, and I think the kid thinks he's growing his own Christmas tree. But this thing, and then eventually the mum says, "Right, we can't have this killer plant in our house anymore."
Pampas grass.
Yeah, yeah. So they move it outside, and in the morning he takes the plant a present, and then they all come out and they all give the plant a present. So it's all right. It's not the best one, but
Yeah.
we're showing the kids this.
Oh, is that it? That's this year's John?
That's this year's
fucking
John Lewis one,
no, that just kind of clicked there, and I went, oh no, I think I fucking do. I have seen it in the
Yeah, it's not great, but we were showing them. I was like, I'll show you some of the class ones, and we showed them the Old Man in the Moon one, and they weren't impressed at all.
No,
they just thought it was weird. Like,
I'd love to be given the job to make one.
Aye,
Because can you imagine the fucking like damage you could do if you
to the brand.
like just to English people would be so upset.
Yeah,
Imagine like a proper like a Paddington Bear sexual assault, 4 minutes long, tears and shit, and then just let it go out for like a week. The fucking mayhem, John Lewis. Can you imagine what Twitter would be like? Christmas isn't always a great time of the year. John Lewis.
Starts off right. We're gonna give this a wee boy running about and on the lead up to Christmas. They're kind of looking in pet shops, and he's looking at this like dog, this puppy that he's wanting. And the puppy's like pawing up at and he's pawing back, and they're giving each other high fives and all this kind of stuff. And then Christmas Eve they let him open one just as a bonus. And he opens up the puppy, and he's like, "This is the best Christmas ever." He's running about with the puppy in the snow and all this kind of shit. Then they get up the next day, he can't find the puppy. He's just like, "I must be asleep or something." And the mum's cooked it for Christmas dinner. All the while, Ed Sheeran's singing a ballad version of "You Can't Always Get What You Want" by the Stones.
Pulling hair out of their teeth. Good luck.
Just Dad's carving it. Gives the kid the head with a fucking collar still on.
I'll fucking teach you there.
You can't always get what you want.
You swore in September. It's just something so manipulative. Oh God,
That's funny. How you were telling me you were in Bradford and you got racially abused?
Well, somebody kept at the very end of the set. I was like, right, I'll leave you on this. That's how late it was, and this guy just started going, started doing my accent, like as a dog, and I was like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? And then he just like, it's like a man had a breakdown. He just kept doing it, but and his wife was like, no, stop, because he clearly you couldn't get back to it because like you were doing a couple of jokes at it, but he wasn't registering even anything you were saying. Or
did he have issues, or was he?
No, he was fine the entire show. I think he had one strongbow dark fruit too many and fucking lost it. And then he just started going, fucking potatoes, fucking potatoes out here.
The classic go-to.
I was sitting there going, I was meant to be getting out of here. I had to end on something like, you better check under your car. And then they all went, hey! And then I was like, I'm out of here, bye. And he was still sitting there in the corner, music coming on, going, fucking Irish. I reckon he was a squatty. I reckon he was an ex because he just snapped all of a sudden. And he started doing like fucking Mick, Paddy, fucking.
It was kicking off in Ireland.
Oh, it was horrific.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, it was before the weekend, wasn't it? Because you had a triumphant return to Twitter with people losing it with you.
my triumphant return to Twitter. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter for years. It used to be my big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The racist lads brought me out.
Yeah.
They're like back like the good old days.
Yeah. Because you were firing out about Conor McGregor.
He's a fucking fanny.
Ugh.
He's already tweeting this morning too about like just incite and shite. Like it is just he has been investigated today by the guards for inciting hatred.
Really, is he?
Well, I mean, like it's literally what you the fucking if you're sitting there going we're at war to a bunch of maniacs. You keep going around and everybody's like, it doesn't seem like we're at war. One of the kids stabbed was a migrant kid.
Yeah,
the guy that stopped the stabbing was from Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what are you fucking? We're at war.
The guys that were looting, right? They were like looting Foot Locker and stuff.
Aye.
Like, I always wonder why. Like, what shop would you go to? Because looting happens a lot in America.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I haven't really heard it in Dublin yet. Yeah, you could drop a fucking can of Coke and.
Aye, it happened in the London riots years ago.
Okay.
I've never seen it in Scotland, but
Aye, I think I've seen it in Ireland too.
It happens in America when. Like the 49ers could win the Super Bowl and they'll be looting that night.
Yeah.
Like it's like they love a looting.
Love a wee looting.
Yeah.
I think it's the first I've seen it in thing. What shop? I love the way people were tweeting that Eason's was completely unharmed.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, nobody's going near Eason's.
Yeah.
I would go if I was on O'Connell Street. I would go into Dr. Quirky's.
Dr. Quirky.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dr. Quirky's Good Time Emporium.
Yeah.
Real place.
I mean, Foot Locker is quite a good one to go into because you're going to get trainers. They're quite easy to carry, quite light. You could carry about 6
wear them
boxes
on
of
your
trainers. Put one on your feet, one on your hands, crawl out with them.
Gallop out of there.
But I mean, you could come away with a good grand's worth of stuff.
Aye.
Very quickly in a.
Do you think if you grab and it'd be awful if you didn't see what you were grabbing? You come out with just loads of insoles. Please turn up in your cot with 5
orthopedic shoes. Oh no!
No, done for stealing orthopedic shoes.
I would do if I was in a looting Ann Summers. Imagine being the only person that was looting Ann Summers.
Just you.
People walking out with widescreen tellies and stuff. You walking out with shitloads of lingerie on.
Smelling everything. Fuck's sake. Oh. God.
I may be riding, but that doesn't mean I don't have to be sexy.
You break into a restaurant and then just be, that's right, the chefs wouldn't be here.
Just fresh produce.
Fuck. I thought it'd be cooked. You're lit in and there's going to be a waiter. I'll have 2 steaks, please. Then right.
Sitting down. Fucking serves in here.
Fucking hell. Yeah, there's not a wild lot bar that. There's Ned Kelly's sports book. It's some weird sports bar down the end of the street.
All right.
Fucking the top of O'Connell Street's pretty rough.
Ned
anyway.
Kelly, as in Ned Kelly from Westerns.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
We always have something like that. There's always a Ned. There's a lot of Neds around. Not like the non-educated delinquents, just actual Neds.
What is Ned short for?
Neanderthal. What did you say?
Nedworth.
Nedworth. Fuck off. What is it?
I think it will be Edward, will it not?
It probably is. It's going to be funny if it's something like Jared. You know. What's Mark short for?
Marktopher.
Marktopher.
What is Ned?
No knees.
Short for. This will come up with because I'm in Scotland. Edward. Ned is the boy's name. Ned is a diminutive form or nickname for the given name Edward, Edmund, Edwin, and Edgar. So basically anything with Ed at the start.
Okay.
They whack an N on to make it shorter.
Great. Okay.
It means wealthy guardian.
Fucking Edwards are posh always
There
too.
you go. Wow.
I can see why they call him Ned though. Edward Kelly doesn't have the same.
No,
ring
Edward
to it.
Kelly. No, Ned Kelly's a cool.
Yeah. Ned Kelly's got a bit of oomph about it.
Ned can also be a diminutive for the Slavic name Nedeljko. There you go.
Nagelic.
Nedeljko.
Lawson.
Yeah. Right, this film this week
right.
is your pick. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'd never even heard of this film.
Yeah.
Week. Never heard of it.
I chose this because it came up in the it turned up on the charity shop, and I went, "Oh my god, this is like this is my goodness." I was about 11 when this came out or something,
Right.
and I fucking loved it when it came out. It was this, and the only other film that was quite like this. It's not really like this, but was Nothing to Lose. You know, the Tim Robbins.
Is that
Tim Robbins and Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, yeah.
So it was
I know
always
that,
Nothing to Lose and Down to Earth were my two favorite
Right.
comedies when I was a kid. So when I saw this, I was like, well, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Or it'll change up because we had a lot of good films in a row too.
Do you know what? I texted you last night and said, I don't know whether I hated it or I really liked it. And I think by the end, I really liked it.
yeah.
Largely because of Chris Rock. But
See, Chris Rock's great in it. He's dreadful acting in it. There's parts where you're watching the acting and you're like, this is genuine.
Oh, yeah, he's
this is
terrible.
a stand-up. But he is the whole film.
yeah. I forgot how massive Chris Rock's teeth were. Huge teeth. There's a bit at the start, right? When he goes in, the very, very start, his day job is he's like a bike courier.
Yeah,
And he turns up at this apartment block, and
Yeah.
there's a
White guy.
Yeah, they're letting in this doorman's letting in the white family, and then he tries to go in and goes, "Oh, deliveries around the back," and he starts doing like, "Why are you just assuming because I'm black that I'm making the delivery?" He's like, and he starts doing that classic Chris Rock thing where he's like,
Why?
"If I wanted to have some cocoa, why can't I have any cocoa?" But I was like, when he was smiling at it, I was like, "Teeth are fucking." That's me saying that.
Yeah.
Teeth are huge.
He was Chris Rock was like that. By the way, what a way to start a film, just straight into racism. You're like, I know what this is going to be going.
Yeah, it's a fast moving film.
Yeah, it's not even an hour and a half. It's an hour and 25
No.
minutes.
And the entire plot is completely described and set out in the first. Because I looked at it, I was like, that's 11 minutes. And everything's been explained. Literally everything has been explained here. There is nothing left that I'm going to be going, I don't know what's going on here. But
So the premise of this film, by the way, is Chris Rock. We'll get into the specifics of being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But he's a comedian. He sees a girl while he's cycling, gets hit by a bus or a truck, and then dies. Goes up to a thing. He was before his time. The angel took him or something, so he gets to go back down, but he gets to choose. He basically gets reincarnated in the meantime.
Yeah.
Until they find him another permanent body. So
Yeah.
he's got a year, whatever, to play with, and he ends up getting an old billionaires.
yeah, old white billionaire.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and hilarity ensues.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus Christ! Let me get my literally about free. It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls and notes here. I've got
Excellent.
like Jesus Christ. So you liked it anyway?
I did like it. I thought some of it was very funny because there's an amazing cast.
Yeah.
So Chris Rock already, is her name Regina King, who I know from a lot of things. She plays
Aye, she was
Will
in-
Smith's wife in Enemy of the State.
Yes.
She's in a load of shit. Eugene Levy, who's the angel who fucks up and kills him too early. Chaz Palminteri,
Is that who that is?
who's
Yeah, is it?
basically the leader of heaven, like God's second-hand man.
Yeah.
He's in it. Stifler's mom's in it.
Just Jennifer Coolidge is
Jennifer
under there.
Coolidge, who I've gigged with.
You've gigged with Jennifer
I
Coolidge.
remembered this last night. I've gigged with Jennifer Coolidge
She's great.
at the Fringe years ago, and I was so excited. Like texting pals from back home going, I'm gigging with Stifler's mom tonight.
Oh, that's great.
And I didn't get a photo because I felt too
Awkward.
awkward. I don't really like getting photos with people anyway.
No, I don't
but
too either.
unless I'm like, if I've supported them in a gig, I'll get one. But
Same,
not if
yeah.
I'm just gigging with people, you kind of go, nah. Plus, it's very, like, it is very hard to get a photo with someone when you have had a wank.
Oh, to Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aye. What, in the American Pie, you never... God, yeah.
She's
It's
very
so
funny. but
ridiculous.
Not that. No.
I think I've had a wank to most of the cast of American Pie.
Eugene Levy.
Men included.
I forgot he's in it.
Yeah,
too.
he's in it. So. And the pie.
And the pie.
Had a wank to the pie.
You try to go search on the internet. Is there any way we can have Jason Biggs removed and just the pie? Just an image of the
I
pie.
just had it on the screen like that.
Oh, God. Look at the fucking crust on that bastard. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. It is an unbelievable. Oh, and Frankie.
Frankie Faison.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Our boy.
Well, like, just start from the fucking goddamn start.
Right.
The fact that, right, the funniest thing right from The Office, you'd think a stand-up comedian like Chris Rock would have would have jumped in when they were filming the first few scenes, when he's first of all doing like his first gig or his second gig or something.
Yeah.
And it's at it's at the Apollo.
The Apollo Theatre in New York.
In New York. One of the biggest, most prestigious.
Literally, like, the place that Pryor recorded an album. James Brown has recorded an album in the Apollo. And they
Fugees.
They have an amateur night. They have an open spot night in the Apollo Theatre.
Completely rammed.
It's literally like it's like Wembley. The O2 having an open spot night.
we go
Yeah, like
you go down to Murrayfield.
Yeah.
They're doing.
We've got McIntyre on the Friday, Mickey Flanagan on the Saturday. Oh, and then it's
Joe Guy.
yeah. Then the Sunday, you just rock up, you stick your name down, we'll see if we can get you on.
30,000 people. It's absolutely rammed.
That's the thing, it is rammed.
It's absolutely
no open spot night is ever rammed.
The best open spot night you have is literally Red Raw I've ever seen. And that's a real anomaly.
That's busy,
but it's
largely because it's cheap.
Yes.
Plus, it's marketed, the stand market very, very well to students. And also, big names will drop in. Like Kevin Bridges will drop in. Stade will drop in and do stuff. And they get a professional headliner and a professional compere.
Yes.
Well, some weeks we'll use the word professional very, very loosely. But
I've done it. I've seen that.
But there's no straight up open spot night that gets, I don't know what the Apollo holds, 3,000 people?
I would say, that's what I have in my head, about 3,000 people. Yeah. Like, absolutely proper up for it too. They're all
people in the fucking royal boxes. There's two women that are there purely to boo Chris Rock.
That's right. What was that?
They put breath freshener in before he comes on. They're like, here we go.
And do you know what my favorite one was? He's got an agent.
Yeah,
this is the funniest part. He's got an agent sitting there side down, like, the guy's clearly not got 3 minutes.
No, he hasn't, because
they kind of make it clear other things, like, I got to change this bit, your one bit,
because his material's dog shit at the start.
Yeah.
Like, who got roaches?
Oh, that's the great.
And then the guy goes, "We're in New York. Everybody got roaches."
That's the funniest fucking heckle I've ever heard. Well, I mean, what's the funniest heckle you've ever been hit with? Actually,
I do this. I talk about this in my show, my tour show. Starts again in February. The funniest heckle I have ever had was
I know this, but I just asked you.
A guy in Cardiff said to me that it was when I was it was in November, and I used to do that a lot. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I never raised money for fuck all. I just liked the fact that I could grow a moustache for a month.
Yeah.
And I had money anyway. I had the moustache and I had a suit on, and a guy in Cardiff, he said something like, I said something. I can't remember what I was talking about doing something, and he just yelled, "No, you didn't." And I went, "What?" And he went, "You're too fat." And I was like, "The fuck?" And I was like, "You say I'm too fat?" And then he said, "You look like Freddie Mercury if he tried to beat AIDS by eating pies."
The guy was sitting on it ready.
Fucking howling laughing. But yeah. The hecklers are brutal in this.
Oh, they barely do one joke. I fucking said that.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. But see, because it's clearly, it's not just an open spot comedy night, because John Cho, who's also an American Pie.
There you go. They just got the cast.
He's a singer.
No, he just keeps on it. He keeps nailing it. He shows you later too. He just comes on and absolutely fucking floors.
I love him. And then, but it's so bizarre, because whoever the compere is, when Chris Rock tries to shake his hand, he goes, "No, touch me." And then when he starts dying, some old dude dressed as a jester comes out and starts whacking him with a brush.
That's right. It's actually possible. This is the greatest amateur night I've ever seen in my life. No wonder 3,000 people out. Fucking jesters.
That's a good point, actually.
That's why the fucking thing's packed out. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You get to see an old black dude beat a young black dude with a broom. What the fuck is this night?
Singing and everything.
The Asian kids just done a fucking show tunes, got a standing ovation.
People in the show boxes, the paying seats, ready to boo only. And then the fucking, you know what the best part was? I was sitting there, goes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to stage. What, I can't remember his fucking name in it, whatever. But it was like Chris Rock and
Lance Barton.
Lance Barton, right? You're like Lance Barton, and then he just goes, and then him and his agent, him and Frankie, just start talking about his hat.
Yeah.
They go on for like a minute.
I know.
Like, he's already introduced him.
I know.
The guy's like,
I know.
Lance fucking Barton.
His nickname's Bowie. His actual agent is calling him Bowie.
Come on there, Bowie. Oh, you know, later when he's reincarnated and he doesn't know it's him and he just sitting there going, oh, his material was shite. Was this right?
Yeah.
But he had spark.
Yeah.
He had gumption. He'd never give up. And that's always when I'm watching, I go, no, definitely give up.
Aye.
But
I didn't know, right? Because so he goes up and then like the angels they're like bad because Eugene Levy's a terrible, he makes a horse of it all the way through. He's constantly making because it seems to be they have to kill them, they have to take them like 10 seconds because he's got a stopwatch constantly, so just before they die they have to take them. I don't know if they don't take them before it, their body or their soul just goes.
It's a horrible.
I don't really understand that.
I don't know.
But Chaz Palminteri's pretty cool about it, and he's like, "Look, we messed up here. You know this other body." And then because they go through, they offer him a couple of bodies, and because they're obviously he's dead and he's an angel, nobody else can see them, and they're in a dude's office. And I love the way it scrolls up from his computer screen and it just shows the shares of a company constantly going down, and then him in the windowsill just launches himself. And Chaz Palminteri goes, this one's a bit of a fixer-upper.
It's so good. Oh, do you know what? It's funny too. He dies Persian.
He does, yeah, he does.
That's what he does. He's Perry. He just sees her crossing the road and he's on his bicycle going like,
damn. Yeah.
Try to get fucking.
He's not the horny guy though.
He tried to get 6 inches deep and up 6 foot deep.
Different horny guy.
Who's the
horny guy? Is the guy that was. I only know him from Ally McBeal. He's the guy that kills the millionaire.
Not the
Wellington the Third.
The guy that's banging Jennifer Coolidge.
The guy that's banging Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, I know him. He's always pretty funny and stuff.
Because they've got a weird thing going on.
Oh God,
where
it's so funny.
They get sexually excited by insulting each other.
Yeah.
She's like, you fucking money grabbing bitch.
They were great together. Jennifer Coolidge.
They start pumping each other on the pool table.
Yeah.
And then Chris Rock, when he's the Wellington guy, comes across and they're like, no, that's not. And he's like, don't try and fool me. You've got a cue ball halfway up your ass.
Oh God. Do you know as well? You know, by the way, one of the funniest things I thought was when Chris Rock first dies and he goes up to heaven. He's standing on the clouds. And he goes, where am I?
Yeah.
Where the fuck do you think you are? Nicaragua?
That's a terrible, the special effects in that scene.
Oh, God,
abysmal.
Oh, yeah, but seriously, it was like walking up to Peter at the gate and be like, where am I? Oh, you're at the fucking walls of Derry. Where do you think you are? Like, fucking...
Where am I? Chessington World of Adventure.
Yeah, Dr. Quirky's fun time. Good time for him.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this. When I was reading about the film, this is a remake.
Oh, right? I read no notes on this. So
it's a remake of it's a remake of a remake. So the other remake is
went back to normal.
It's like a 40s film. I don't know what I can't remember what it's called. But the one that this is based on, and it's pretty much the same script.
Right.
Because I was looking at who wrote the script. So Chris wrote. Louis C.K. had a hand in writing this script as well.
Did he? Fuck.
Yeah. And it's a remake of a film called Heaven Can Wait, right? And you'll like this. You'll like this. It's got Warren Beatty in it.
Okay.
Right? I've heard of it before. I've never seen it. But Warren Beatty is the star quarterback of the LA Rams.
Okay.
Right? And he gets killed just before he's about to play the game that's going to take them to the Super Bowl. Right? Because the Rams are basically guaranteed to win the Super Bowl. He's a quarterback. He gets killed. But again, heaven have made a mess up. They then offer him another body. He gets given this billionaire. As the billionaire, he goes on to buy the LA Rams so that he can then play as the quarterback and win the Super Bowl for them.
That's great.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
But that makes less sense to me than in this one, because Chris Rock is going on at a stand-up night as a white millionaire doing clearly black comic jokes and getting away with it. Right? Now, that's bizarre enough.
Yeah.
How is Warren Beatty... Right, you can have the head of a quarterback and the tactics of a quarterback and know exactly what to do. But if you're still an 80-year-old billionaire, how the fuck are you playing in the NFL? How are you excelling in the NFL post-season?
Yeah. I've realized
as an 80-year-old
this
millionaire.
is going to be excellent now. I've not seen this. Yeah. Do you think all the other players are like, you're not playing?
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit.
I don't care if you own the fucking club. You cannot ruin our careers like this. Man, put me in.
Because Chris Rock kind of does it in this, because he's dying in his arse at all the other comedy clubs, so he just buys a comedy club and calls it Wellington's.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But then the crowd, I mean, quite rightly, the first time he goes on, that's legitimate heckling, because he comes on and he tells a dog shit joke and the guy goes, I don't give a shit if you own the place, you shouldn't be on the stage. And you go, yeah, that's quite right.
Yeah. Do you know it was the first fucking one was when he comes... Do you know the first one when she... But by the way, right, so Wellington, we mentioned one thing, that's the old billionaire, right? He turns into this fucking 70-year-old billionaire, whatever, and he's died in the tub, and Jennifer Coolidge in there trying to kill him anyway to get...
I'm assuming they've drugged him.
I think they must have drugged him and he survived because they're shocked when he came out.
Yeah.
I know you tried to kill me, that's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
So... but you know when by the way, you have to bear in mind the first time he saw this woman is just before he dies, and when he gets reincarnated, his first thought is, I need to get that woman.
Yeah,
that's stalker. That is
weird.
That's not romance. That's just the weirdest shit in the world. Then he tries to tag her with. She must be like, who's this creepy 80-year-old trying to bang me? There's a part where mental, by the way, where she accidentally locks herself.
Yeah.
With the handcuffs to the key, right? And she drops the key or whatever, and he finds the key and he gets up as an 80-year-old white guy and goes, "I got you, freedom."
Fuck! I didn't even realize that. Oh my god! Oh Jesus!
And she just passes out because she doesn't know that this guy's reincarnated, even if it would. But that's what he literally stands up, this 80-year-old with the key, and just goes to her, "I got you, freedom." I nearly fucking lost.
Oh my god! Oh, I didn't even clock that. Jesus,
that's fucking amazing. Like,
there's so much wrong with him pursuing her sexually.
Oh,
it's so weird.
It's all over the place
because you don't really get it, because
you don't see
it's just two young folk, because you don't see him as Wellington. You
only
see him
sometimes
as Chris Rock.
Yeah.
But when you actually think about it and you go, this is an old man.
Yeah.
Constantly phoning a young woman.
Up.
And then
went for the kiss.
But it's so fucking weird. Like, I noticed they don't show you that bit. The only time they show you Wellington as Wellington is the time when he's doing
twice.
When it's clearly for comic effect, because
when he's
singing rap.
Well, first time I remember, he's in the car listening.
Yeah.
And, he's listening to Rough Riders.
Yeah.
And
that's Gin and Juice.
Oh, that was Gin and Juice.
Yeah.
He's doing the. You see him, you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's funny. But then that was the one I remember most is. It was DMX, wasn't it?
It's Rough Riders, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was in the takeaway where he just starts dropping N-words.
Oh my god.
This woman, by the way, again, doesn't know he's reincarnated. So all he's doing technically is racist stuff. Trying to bang this woman and just doing racist jokes. That's what she sees. And she's still kind of like, he falls over, doesn't he, outside? And she kind of like,
it's insane.
She picks him up going like, don't worry about it.
It's the two guys that turn up in the Hummer. The two like gangbangers.
Aye.
And they go in to get a hot dog. And it just turns around. And again, that's the only second time they show him. And it's just him as a white dude dropping N-bombs all over the shop. And quite rightly, I'm amazed they only punch him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why are they not shooting the guy immediately?
Yeah. He's like, because she was like, it was like probably Harlem. It's kind of like the joke. And then they just punch him in the face, yeah. I reckon they only punched him because it was daytime. If that was nighttime, they would have fucking murdered him. That's when murders come out. Daytime murders come out after 8 o'clock. Jesus Christ!
Why also is before he's even started, because he kind of charms her over. She keeps going on about his eyes. Something about your eyes.
I mean, you didn't know his eyes.
I know exactly. But so whenever he wins her over basically by becoming a more of a philanthropist.
Yeah.
Right? He becomes kinder. He starts giving the money out. He starts doing all this charity work, all this kind of stuff. But up until that point, why is she not? When he's kind of doing loads of stuff and he keeps going, I just playing, girl. I just playing. She's go, what the fuck are you talking about, you stupid old white man? Why are you talking like this? Why are you getting away with this vernacular when...
And the fucking angel keeps popping up every once in a while to check in, like behind a tree going, how's things, Lance? How's things going on, Lance? You're like, fucking hell, leave me alone, man. Your time's up. He's like, you gotta give me more time on this body.
And then they eventually give him Joe Guys.
Oh, so
which is the best name.
He's a better comic, Joe Guy.
Ever heard in my life.
Joe Guy.
Joe Guy. How little imagination have you got when you're writing a character? What we call him? Fucking what's a typical name? Joe, I suppose that kind of Joe average. Yeah, we'll call him Joe. It's his second name. Be what is he? A guy? Fucking Joe Guy.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense. They're like, oh, by the way, so because when we give up the Wellington body, this is your permanent body. You'll be Joe, the other open spot in town. Yeah. You'll be the other open spot in town. He dies in a car crash, and he was like, all right, but you won't remember any of this, and you're just like, well, you didn't fucking tell me that before I did all this.
No.
First of all, and then second of all, he goes, well, what about Joe Guy's family? He goes, you'll be you. You'll still have all your essence and all that. And I'm like, does Joe Guy turn back up to his family? And he's like, well, fuck me, Joe's changed.
Aye, exactly, aye.
Like, is Joe been possessed by another fucking slightly...
God, I never even thought about that.
Everything, I tell you, reincarnation's awkward. That's all I'm saying.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Also, do you know what would be the greatest fucking thing in the world?
So
if the angel was sitting up there going like this, and it turns out Joe Guy was Sante's brother. He's like, try bang this woman.
Does Joe Guy then go up to heaven then? Does he hang about in heaven?
Does Joe Guy go up to heaven and look down and go, what the fuck? There's
No,
somebody going around in my body. I never thought of what happens to Joe Guy.
Because surely if you're even like Wellington, surely his soul is up looking down going, fucking... First of all...
That's all my money he's giving away.
My wife's pumping that guy. They tried to murder me. And now I've got this prick ruining my empire, basically.
It's actually an old 80-year-old white man's a billionaire's biggest worst nightmare.
Yeah.
A black person taking over.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Racist.
So much more to this film than I realised.
This is the thing. Reincarnation's dodgy, you know?
Yeah. I would like to do one of those things.
Reincarnation.
I would like to. No, but you know those things where you can go to, like, they're not medium, but you can go to, like, I suppose they're kind of hypnotists that will regress. It's like regression therapy where you find out who you were in past lives.
Oh God, everybody's Napoleon.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to find out, like, just to see what kind of shit they would come up with for you.
It'd be quite funny. I bet you. Imagine if who do you think would be the? I reckon they would tell me I was the dead Chuckle brother. I'm like, he was alive when I was alive.
Yeah, the timelines don't work at all.
He goes, I'm just saying it's you, sir. I was like, I wanted to be fucking Attila the Hun. You know, Vlad the Impaler. I tweeted that thinking it was hilarious. Not a single like or retweet.
Really?
I was just with Vlad the Impaler, wondering what that guy got up to. Nothing. Not even a single like from some people that are even like, you just get one anyway.
Yeah.
They're like, what? He impales people around? I go, oh fuck.
I reckon if reincarnation is true, I think there's a decent chance. I think in the timelines work out that I could have been John Lennon.
You could have been John Lennon.
And John Lennon was killed just before my birthday, my actual birth date.
Okay.
Just saying.
He's not a nice dude though, is he?
Well, but I wouldn't have to do the same practices as John Lennon.
That's true. Times are changing.
But then what if the genius only came with the bad stuff? That's a question. Do you forgive the flaws of someone to allow them the genius that they created?
That's a do-over. It's a do-over. You know, if Kevin Spacey comes back as a decent bloke, I'm like, all right, the Spacey phase is over. You do one mistake though, if you so much as fucking swear, you're going back as a ball bag. 1990 celeb deaths. I want to see who mines could be. So we're looking for a bald dead dude in the 90s. Let me see. Who died? Right.
When did that Litvinenko guy die?
Fuck off.
That could be.
Fuck off. I was around for that too, all right? And he's bald because he got poisoned.
No.
I haven't been poisoned, right? Roald Dahl died in 1990.
Right, what date though?
Oh, no, November, right? No, what about Stevie Ray Vaughan? No. Jim Henson. Jim Henson, May just before me, the puppet master himself. I do you know what? I could be, because I'm not going to be fucking serious here between me and you. I've also stuck my fingers up a frog.
That's why you're not allowed France anymore.
He's like, Jim Henson used strings. Fist in a pig.
Do you know most of the material? I recognise this. Most of the material when Chris Rock is good is in his
actual special,
really famous Bigger and Blacker
special.
Okay. The whole insurance bit. He doesn't even do as a comedy bit. He just does it in the
film, in
the boardroom meeting.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of his classic,
right, okay.
classic bits.
I can't remember. He says something to one of the old men too. Come here, fucking Stumpy or something. Some guy with no legs or something, funny, fucking shit like that.
Keep calling the guy Big IV. My favourite line in the film is Wanda Sykes, who's also a comic.
I love Wanda Sykes.
When she's talking about the wife, Jennifer Coolidge, and she says, one more facelift, that bitch gonna be farting out her nose. Oh god.
Wanda Sykes is so funny. No, absolute no special awareness.
No.
The guy would be like, oh yeah, no problem. The guy would barely be past her shoulder, and she'd be audibly going like, that motherfucker.
Yeah. I love the fact that when Wellington starts becoming good to the help and it gives him like a 200% pay rise, and then you see them, her and the Spanish cleaner are then cleaning in fur coats. And then she's leaving the building one day, and a protester comes up and goes, "Fur's murder," and chucks red paint over her, but she still wears it.
She goes, "I'll fucking show you murder."
Chris Rock then goes, "Your fur coat's bleeding."
I'll show you murder. It was great. It's chasing the fucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'll fucking show you murder.
She
goes, I remember my favorite line of hers is at the very end. She goes, are you the maid? He goes, I'm not the maid, I'm the paid. I'm not the maid, I'm the paid.
Chris Rock does do a thing talking about comedy, which we as friends and our other pals have talked about, of the terrible compare move. Well, at the end, when he's Joe Guy and he meets Santi, and he says, so what do you do? And she goes, I'm in medicine. And he goes, you're a drug dealer? The shittest compare
I can't
thing.
believe they used it. They used an ad lib.
Because there are compares in the UK
everywhere
that will literally use that line for any. What is it you do, mate? I'm an architect. Oh, we found a drug dealer.
Yeah, we know a guy that doesn't get the joke. I know exactly who you're talking about who doesn't get the joke. So no matter what job, you should have a job where a tablet at least is involved or something. He was just like, oh, I'm a garden landscape. Oh, that would even slightly work because you could say you're digging out weeds, but if somebody said, oh, I work with kids. Work with disabled kids. Oh, you're a fucking drug dealer. Am I right?
The best one I've ever done of that was no, I wasn't even on stage. It was me and Chris Thorburn.
Okay.
Right, we were on at Monkey Barrel, and we were both standing. I can't even remember who was on, but we were watching, and some guy, whoever was on, I can't remember, said to a guy in the front row, oh, what do you do? And he goes, I'm a web designer. And literally within a second, me and Chris just went to each other, oh, Spider-Man's in.
It'd be funny if they get this completely wrong the other way around. You know, if they were like, so what do you do for a living? He's like, I'm a drug dealer. Like, oh, so you work with kids? You absolutely stumped him. Me and Mickey Bartlett. Mickey was at Lavery's, right? And me and Mickey were screaming in tears trying to do an anti-MC.
Right.
So we were howling. We were like, let's go up, and anytime you ask a question to someone in the crowd, do the opposite of what the usual questions are. So, like, my fun, and I was crying on, like, I was just like, are you two single? instead of, are you a couple? Are you two single? What are you doing? Fucking howling at it. Like, any questions are slightly off.
Anyone in here never had a drink?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you do for a job? I'm a plumber. Oh, what's your favourite type of computer? Yeah.
Oh, do you know what's great too, by the way? You know when he's Wellington and he's going up, they announced the lineup for the open mic night on the television.
Yeah.
Why don't you turn in?
Also, why the fuck why are open spots? Because the Apollo is being closed after 80 years. And yet they give five, not even a token one spot, 5 spots to amateur comedian. Why? Like, why is that? If the Apollo's closing, why is that not Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Aretha Franklin, right? Why are they not on the... Why the fuck are you giving 5 spots of 5 minutes? 25 minutes?
One a millionaire?
Like, it's so ridiculous.
One a white 80-year-old millionaire? Yeah, but imagine if they were just like, you know, like, oh, and Ryan Cullen's going to be doing 5 in Monkey Barrel tonight. Anyway, the war in Gaza.
Exactly.
Oh God!
There was one other bit that irrationally annoyed me, because I don't really normally. I've got a thing with films where I'm getting better with it because we've been doing this, but spotting plot holes.
Oh right,
plot holes used just to wash over me because I never recognise them.
I get it sometimes, but sometimes I just let it go.
Yeah,
I kind of annoyed me sometimes when people would overdo it.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense." I'm just like, go with it.
Not a lot of
these
this
people
doesn't make sense.
People are flying in this film.
One annoyed me in this one, right? See, so he's Butler, who's the guy from the Full Monty.
That's right.
Mark Addy's the dude's name. So he's like typical English Butler, and then it turns out he's just putting on the accent because it's easier to get Butler jobs. And then so they're having a beer together, and he says, do you want to go out in the car? Right? And then they go out in this massive, I think it's a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, it looks like a...
And Chris Rock's driving. If he has a car and a driver, there is not a chance he would know how to drive.
But it's Chris Rock driving.
Exactly. But why is that not...
Oh, why is that
not sending up warning signals?
Oh, you get the butlers just
There's
like...
not a chance.
You're not going behind the wheel of this.
If you're a millionaire who's always had a driver and a butler, there is not a fucking chance you know how to drive that car.
That's true.
So how's they getting away with that?
So how's the other guy just not being like, you're not getting in behind the wheel?
Exactly.
You can't drive, and you go, oh, I can
also,
drive.
We've just been drinking, so like, first of all, like,
the butler's like, oh my god. most of the giving away the thing and giving the 200 rises because of his age. People are like, he's got Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You know,
he started talking like Chris Rock.
Yeah, I think he's hit his head.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's hitting his head.
Aye.
He's just asked me for black television. What do you call it?
BET, Black Entertainment Television.
1 6. You want to watch it? Yeah, it's in the staff canteen. You can get it on the TV.
Did you notice the really dodgy aged bit where him?
What, the whole film?
Well, yes.
but
there's a bit where he's trying to convince Frankie Faison, his agent, that he is Lance and he's not Wellington.
I love that scene.
Which he accepts very quickly with very little evidence whatsoever.
Like, I get that he says a thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, he basically tries to convince his old agent that it's him. So, and again, Frankie is like, damn eyes.
Yeah.
Again, these eyes are doing a lot of heavy lifting for Chris Rock. But basically, he says something that only them two would kind of know in a night out. Now, obviously, hypnotists and shit can do stuff like that. You know,
it's the story though. Do you remember what the story was?
Oh,
it's like, do you remember that time we're driving to Atlantic City, and we did the gig and it was awful, and then we're drinking in the bar afterwards, and we started drinking with these two really ugly chicks, and then we were like, my God, they're so ugly, and it turns out they weren't ugly, they were just transvestites, and I was like, oh no, oh no.
And they were like, no. I remember that. We tried to bang this transvestite. And then they all high five. And they go, he does take it like quick. Not only is that, say if I found that news, and even if I believed, even if I was like, oh my God, it is you, I think I'd start screaming.
Oh, you'd be freaked out.
Rather than him going, great, let's get back to work.
Exactly, I know.
Let's get back to the open spot scene.
I know. And even that, when he suggests, like, you've got to get me on that Apollo lineup, even if you go, right, do you know what, I get that this is a dream and I get that you're probably good enough, there is literally no fucking way on earth that I am getting a 80-year-old white millionaire on the last night of the Apollo. Like, it's literally it's impossible.
Can I just say, right, rather than buying Wellingtons and doing that, why don't you just buy the Apollo, save the Apollo and do it?
It's a great point. just do the Apollo himself every night.
Just do the Apollo himself. Buy the fucking Apollo. You can buy that.
Why does he not
movie over?
Doesn't even need to buy it. He just needs to give them enough money to keep trading. I didn't even thought of that. Jesus.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you £1 million. You can keep running. Just give me 5.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll buy another open mic night.
Just
I'll train up.
John Show, Joe Guy, ban those two bitches up there that keep booing for a start. That's all I ask. All I ask.
And the guy that takes everything far too little. Yeah, of course we got cockroaches. Jennifer Coolidge is so good in it too, because she's fucking excellent in pretty much everything.
Very funny.
She keeps saying knock boots.
Yeah.
One of my favorite phrases. I don't even know what it means. I know what it means, but I don't know where it came from.
When he comes home and she's at the top of the stairs and it's like, shake ass, watch yourself, and she's like that. She's like, I'm just backing my booty into you. And
so you've been watching that?
I know she's been going through this phase.
Oh God.
You playing with me, G?
Oh God. When I was a kid, the only 2 parts I properly really always remembered was the DMX part and the part where he's walking along the television. You know, the television turns on and follows him. I'm like, that's not even a good way of watching TV.
That's a terrible way of watching telly.
It'd be all right if it stayed on. The fact that it goes off when he walks back.
I know. It's a good predictor of the modern comedy scene, though.
Do you reckon?
The fact of how difficult it is to get a white man over 50 on television.
You sell it live at the Apollo. Not live at the Apollo, do they? Yeah. He threatens a lawyer, by the way. He threatens the agents with lawyers. Do you
he does, yeah.
But the one I have to bring out, he goes, before right, this is the part I have because I've been waiting for this. First of all, Frankie keeps losing his comics to death.
He does, aye. Yeah.
Fucking hit by a bus, assassinated. Joe Guy. I didn't have Joe Guy. But here's the best thing, right? That was the least covert sniper I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So what happens is Wellington, he's 80, whatever, he gets assassinated eventually, right? The board kill him because he's giving away their money. He's at like a company picnic kind of thing, or a family picnic. Everyone's around, right? It's in the middle of the city.
In the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day. The sniper, not even behind a tree.
No.
He just
crouches beside a shrub.
Crouches beside a shrub, not behind it. Opens a full briefcase, sets up a sniper, and then shoots him from like 20 yards.
Yeah. It's not even like you know when assassins will make a gun out of other parts, so it looks like it's an act. You can clearly see it's a case that holds a rifle. Like it's got the specific cut out parts for parts of the rifle.
That's excellent. And then he just fucking like kills him. You're like the worst sniper in the world. If you were sitting there as the board man, like, where did we get this guy? Like he was immediately apprehended. There's no way it didn't show you. Like, but there's no way that guy got away.
That's like because I'm assuming with the board they've got a lot of money and they know it, so they'd spend top dollar on a sniper. You wouldn't Google snipers in the area. It's not. That's funny as well when he gets shot and it cuts back to Wanda Sykes and she's just got a knife doing like that.
You know his thing, because when he comes into Joe Guy's body, crashes, you know, he crashes and then he comes out, remember, as Joe Guy, and he tries to get a taxi and he's like, I'm black again.
Yeah, he can't get a taxi. Yeah, that is very funny. That's very funny.
Yeah, I'm black again. But the sad part was, I always think it's sad, is I don't know why it gets me this. I don't know why it gets me. It's never deaths and things. It's, you know, the way Frankie recognized him, saw it in his eyes, and then he basically turned into Joe Guy, whatever. And then he tries to catch him on the way out, and he knows he's gone. Yeah. He knows his thing. You're like, he doesn't remember shit. That gets me. That's like the end of fucking Spider-Man.
Oh, No Way Home.
Oh, that fucking broke me. That type of shit.
Where he goes in and meets Mary Jane in the cafe.
Yeah.
And neither her or Ned have a clue who yet. Yeah,
that Frankie shit every time. Yeah. Of all things in films, that gets me every time. I'm always like, that's grim.
That's a deep level of loneliness.
That's way worse than any
when
sort
when you've got the memories of a life, but no one else has, and you're still in that same life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. I was like, ooh,
that's really brutal.
That's brutal. Yeah. So that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh god,
that is sad.
But
before we go, I want to. Where do you place Chris Rock in the pantheon of comics?
I think he hit the very, very top very quickly and then died off very, very quickly.
Really?
Yeah, I think I like one of his specials. I can't remember which one it is actually.
Is it the famous one?
Aye.
Yeah.
I love it.
Bigger and Blacker, the one with the bullet, the one with the bullet routine,
yes,
which is, for my mind, one of the best comedy routines ever written.
Yeah. Is that the one as well where he's like, I would never hit a woman, but I'd sure shake the shit out of one?
Yeah. Yeah. It's also the one, it's the one where he's talking about parenting. And it's one of my favourite lines of comedy where he's like, look at these guys going, I take care of my kids. You're supposed to, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah. That's actually, top tier. Yes,
that's really good.
No, that's one of the best of all time. I think he is brilliant. I actually used to enjoy his films. I enjoy fucking Down to Earth.
I think he's one of the best ever.
Really? Yeah.
I genuinely do. Like, I know, like, within our friends group, like Tambourine and all that kind of stuff, I know people don't really like it.
Yeah, I didn't like Tambourine.
I quite like it. I think it's very good.
I think it's like, it was fine. It was fine. I definitely do like him. I don't know if it would never be in my, not never, but he wouldn't be in my favourites at all.
And another thing I was going to ask you, right? I was thinking about this in the car drive over. Where would you put yourself in the tiers of stand-up, right?
So, Mount Rushmore? All four heads?
So, like, worldwide, I would say easily me and you are in the top 10,000 comics in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd say so, yeah, because it dies off very quickly.
Would you go 5,000? Do you reckon you're in the top 5,000 comedians in the world?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Well, you think you've lost your...
Yeah.
So you were hovering about 4,998?
I reckon there was about 2019 is when I was, in terms of famous time. Then it disappeared for a while, and then COVID came around.
Not
and,
famous, like quality.
oh, right. Well, I'm in the best. I like to think I'm in the best 5,000.
I think easily.
There isn't a while. Well, it's less than you'd think because you'd sound like you're being big-headed. But what happens is there is only like in America, even at the very, very top, there's only going to be like doing it as professional every weekend
Right.
straight off the bat. How many is there going to be?
Well, see, that's
1,000, maybe 2,000.
That's what I was getting right. Because I mean, to be the best, to be in the best, because I think easily, I mean, you're in the top 5,000 comedians in the world. That's quite a cool thing. To be in the top 5,000 on the world of something you do is massive, right? When you actually boil it down, I don't think we're far off the top 1,000.
Now you're getting now you're going to get into things where people are going to listen and go, look at these two fucking.
Well, listen, they can fucking suck it up.
Well,
because,
it is.
So if you think countries that have produced many great, right? I'm not saying right. Germany, France, Spain.
They have their bits, but
there will be great comics. There's not 100 great German comedians.
No, not
right?
a chance.
Because it's not part of their culture like it is here. There are easily 100 great British comedians.
Easy, yep.
Irish, American, easily Australian, right? Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't think if you were to count up, so if you were to take if you would take 100 from each. I don't think there's 10 countries that would produce 100 great comedians.
Yeah. Okay,
right?
yeah.
So maybe you're cutting it down to maybe 6. Right?
Yeah.
6 countries. And then you're talking about 150. Are there 150 better comedians in this country than you?
I probably.
I don't think there is. Because if you take away the big guns, right, and some of them, like, well, if you take away the real big arenas, right, Flanagan, Bridges, Bishop, right, all the absolute quality at the top, right, you then get the big theatre folk, right. Now, not all of them are good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right? They're bigger. They're more famous. They're probably more talented at what they do in terms of quality of stand-up.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Yeah.
You then take it down to that 50. If you look around the country in terms of who's doing it every single weekend.
I'll put myself in the joke writer, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get a bit more competent in the actual stage.
I don't think it's that far off being in the top 1,000
I mean, in fairness, it does only take one little, like, in comedy, it just takes like a little jump out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden you're neck and neck with them and then your material's better.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like just a jump out.
Yeah. I mean, 1,000 might be pushing
It's funny, I haven't thought about it.
5,000 definitely. But then
the way you say 5,000, because there is only about 6-7 countries that would have over 100. Like, America's probably got like 1,000.
Like if you were in the top 5,000 footballers in the world, that's pretty fucking good, likes.
Playing for Huddersfield.
Nah. That top 5,000, you're maybe not international level, but
yeah, Huddersfield.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. If you're the 5,000
right, football was a bad analogy.
If you're the top 5,000 singers,
that's
you'd know exactly who the person is.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, you would know if you're in the top 5,000 singers, you're famous. I reckon. That's
I don't know.
Do you reckon? I reckon I could name.
I couldn't. If I sat down for an afternoon, I doubt I could name.
I reckon
5,000 singers.
I reckon 5,000. Mark, you're like the ting tings. That's where you're around. You're naming ting tings. Charlotte Church. Or what do you call her? Is that her name?
Charlotte Church. Yeah. She was a good singer.
There you go. So you're around the 5,000.
Because then you can't use dead people either. We're talking current, so you couldn't have a lot of comics are then gone. A lot of singers are then gone.
Okay.
So you've not got a James Brown. You've not got Jim Morrison. You've not got Lennon. You've not got George Harrison.
Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I don't even know if he's dead. I don't even know if he's dead or not.
So, a lot of them. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
All right. So, yeah, okay. It is a good way to think it because I never actually thought if it was in the top. Because it is only about 6 or 7 countries, as you say.
It's one of those things where you get like, could you get like so fucking miserable in this job all the time? If someone to say to you, right, by this time, you'll be in the top 5,000 people in a world of what, 6 billion?
No, it's closer to 8 now.
Is it 8? Right. So you're in the top 5,000 of 8 billion people at what you do.
Yeah.
What percentage is that?
But yeah.
How many zeros are in billion?
Imagine
Nine?
imagine how dreadful. Imagine. Yes, I think so. Do you remember? Imagine how fucking dreadful it would be if everyone on Earth was a stand-up comedian.
Right. So is that 8 billion? Is that 80? That's 80 million.
Yes.
That's 800 million. Can't add another zero.
Just divide it on Google.
So,
okay.
and if you're 5,000 in top 5,000 of even 800 million people, you're in the 0.0000062%
Elite.
We're
the 1%.
We're better than 1%.
What was that? We're in the 1%. Then.
We're in the 1%. It's not bad.
Do you reckon, by the way, if I die...
Now, podcasts. Do you reckon we're in the top 10 podcasts in the world?
Absolutely not.
Because Chartable suggests.
We're big in the Bahamas. Was it the Bahamas or something? Right. So, can you imagine if I died very easily and then came back as another comic on the circuit? Let's just say if I came back as fucking...
Who would I choose?
Not who would I... You don't
Catherine Ryan.
No. It's not what I'm asking. I'm asking who... If I came back to you, say if I walked in here, who you mentioned earlier, Chris Thorburn.
Yeah.
Say if I came in here, Chris Thorburn, and was just like...
It's me, Ryan.
It's me. It's fucking me. You won't believe this. You know, I don't know what story I'd tell you. Remember, I keep like chatting about killing your children. Remember that time we were trying to bang all those... basically, I would have to change it from... Yeah. Remember that time we had to bang all those trannies, which was the film part. You'd just be like, go away. Chris, are you okay? Because I would still have his voice, wouldn't I? So it'd be me going like, oh, the IRA. But it would be in Chris's voice.
Remember that weekend in Greenock where we pushed all those people in wheelchairs in the harbour?
How the fuck do you know that? Colin. And then I'm just sitting here.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, great.
Right. Any more?
No, I mean, that was a real left field one, that one.
Yeah. Now,
we're in the...
Next week, wait a minute. No, I've got to do this properly.
Okay.
Give me a second. So, that was the last of our normal films because next week...
Fuck off.
Next week, it's Christmas.
Fuck's
so
sake.
It's our Christmas month. Like Halloween, we're going to do specials where we're going to break from the format of we have to find in charity shops. And we're going to find... We're basically going to pick 4 Christmas films that we think would be class to talk about.
Yes.
For the next 4 weeks. So, 2 each. My first one is next week. And next week, we are starting cracking, as we mean to go on. We're going to be doing Home Alone.
Hey, straight up Home Alone right in. Fast, dirty and heavy.
Lots to talk about in Home Alone.
Yes.
And we will try and get down to the... I'm actually gonna do some research and try and find out what it is the dad does for a job.
Okay, right.
The one question.
It's gonna be a hard one to get a horny guy.
People. It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be very hard to get a horny guy in Christmas films. Yeah.
We're gonna get one though.
Fuck.
It could be just one slight little bit of weakness.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get one.
If he fucking glances at one of them women. He's been labelled as a horny beast.
So apart from that, keep suggesting the podcast to people you know that might enjoy it. Keep sharing all the clips. Keep sharing any clips that me and Ryan are put up of our own stuff. Roast battle in 2 weeks.
Yes, Christmas roast.
Oh, nice. Love
Christmas roast.
Love it.
Me and you, isn't it?
Yeah, me and Cullen are going to go at it.
Go at it, hammer it in.
Yeah. And then we're going to roast each other. So aye, that's happening. I'm going to be I'm at the Glee in Birmingham this weekend for Christmas, the first of the Christmas shows this weekend. So
I can top
and
you.
early show.
There's what I would chat about if I was Chris coming back as me. I'd be like, God, do you remember that time in Blackpool when we kept laughing about how shit stuff was in Blackpool? I'm in Blackpool this weekend.
Blackpool, you're doing a comedy station. Yes.
Back into the comedy station for Christmas.
Christmas gig at the comedy station. Oh,
yes.
that is fantastic. So keep sharing, keep giving us 5-star reviews and stuff. If you've enjoyed the podcast and write nice things about us, download shit and just have a lovely, lovely
November
weekend. And we shall see you next week. Bye bye.